Nebraska and Indiana, it's homecoming in Bloomington. The alums probably won't recognize what they see. Indiana is undefeated, their best start since 1967. And look at what Curtis Rourke, the Ohio transfer, has been able to do with this offense. They're second in the nation in scoring, top 5 in total offense. His efficiency has been elite in terms of their ability to just look crisp. Now, Kirk Cignetti's put together a team, 21 transfers, a lot of them with a lot of experience, including a man who led James Madison in tackles last year and is leading the Hoosiers this year. AT&T keeps us connected with Hoosier linebacker Aiden Fisher.
Whole lot of energy, let's be clean. Whole lot of energy, let's be clean. Yeah. Yes, sir. Bro, I used to have pants last year that had a hole from here all the way around to here. But they were like my lucky practice pants, so I couldn't get rid of them. Holy real speed right there. Bro, but I would say our minuses are like trying to make plays though.
Bro, my minus is, I think it's one step wrong minus.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Big Ten standings look like this. Oregon has moved to 4-0, and Indiana can do the same against Nebraska this afternoon. Penn State also undefeated. Now, Pete Thamel joined us. Pete, I'm sure that at some point you have Googled Kirk Cignetti. What have you found out about him?
Well, Rece, who expected this 6-0 Indiana start? Well, Kirk Cignetti did. I was in his office in February when I was at the NFL Combine, and he laid out to me exactly how Indiana was going to start 6-0. I think the most interesting stat is that 31 humans between 13 players and additional staff came with him from James Madison. Kirk Cignetti knew exactly what he had. Maybe the most interesting stat today is that of the more than 20 players that Indiana has who are getting written up by NFL teams, only one of them is expected to be drafted. That's quarterback Curtis Rourke, we just talked about a minute ago. So it'll be really interesting, Rece, to see as Indiana goes up a class in competition if the compilation of very good college football players can hold up against Nebraska.
Hey, Pete, real quick before you go, give me that great quote that you have about Cignetti.
Kurt Cignetti has an unflappable belief in Kurt Cignetti. I didn't deliver that, Pete.
This just in. He does, but as Pete pointed out, this is a little bit of a different deal. Nebraska, a defense, the only one in the country that hasn't allowed a rushing touchdown. It's a challenge today.
Yeah, I think so. And that's what excites me about this game. I love Nebraska's defense, and we all know defense travels. They've allowed less than 14 points per game. And like RD just said, they have not given up a rushing touchdown. As a team, they've scored 38 points off of turnovers, and they have 20 sacks already on the season. I think this is going to be a defense the likes that Indiana has not seen yet this season, Pat.
Yeah, and I think Indiana understands that this is going to be their biggest task. Kurt Cignetti would tell anybody that he could listen or would listen that they're going to maybe go 6-0, and then Nebraska is going to be their first big test.
Yeah.
I had a chance to talk to Coach Cignetti this week, and I congratulated him on the start because what he's been able to do at Indiana is something the people of Indiana could have never expected. Gloom and doom. That IU football team. That is a basketball school, not a football school. And Cignetti came in there at the age of 62. Nobody else would really give him a job. And he said, we're going to get so good here in Bloomington, we're going to beat the hell out of Texas someday. That is legitimately the mindset that Cignetti has brought to IU. He brought in 21 three-plus year transfers that you mentioned earlier, 27 in total. The NIL, the transfer portal. He's got a veteran team, a tough team, and a very big one today, Kirk Herbstreit against the
And the 21 guys, he's probably said this to you, he believes in production over potential when it comes to the transfer portal. So he'll take a JMU guy who's been a 3-year starter because he's been a guy that he can evaluate and understand. Des, I think you're right. The Nebraska defense is the key to this game. Are they as good as their numbers? They've been dominant so far. And then the other aspect is Dylan Raiola is protecting the ball. True freshman. It's not just about the numbers. It's about throwing the ball away, not taking a sack. Little things like that. 5 of the 6 games Nebraska's played, they're in the plus in the turnover margin. That's why they've been able to win games.
And I think the whole thing is going to come down to which quarterback plays the best. But Kurt Cignetti is not only a really good head coach, he's a very good quarterback coach. And I think that's why, Curtis Rourke has had the success that he's had. And he also understands from being on our staff what it takes to continue to be successful, even when you're having success halfway through the season.
Tough to do,
rat
especially
poison.
at a place that's not used to that. That's tough.
Hey, no rat poison getting in that building with Cignetti. He said, we flew to UCLA, we had a meal, we woke up, we kicked their ass, we came and then we just get back to work. It's like no complacency. It's wonderful in Bloomington.
That was elite when he was on with you. It was like he was almost offended that there was something else he had to do other than just go kick. They've had 16 different guys score touchdowns. That's tied for the most in the country with BYU.
2 teams haven't trailed all year.
Yeah.
Army,
Indiana and Army.
Indiana.
Yeah.
All year haven't trailed.
Do they trail today or at the end, Steve?
I'm not sure about that. They've scored 40 straight in 5 straight games. That's a school record. But to me, guys, my eyes are on Nebraska. Yeah. They've lost 25 straight to ranked teams. They haven't won a road game.
You know what he's doing.
That's, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
0-3 last week for our guys.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't like it. He was on a heater.
Now you go.
On a heater.
You're good.
We're back. That doesn't matter.
Ignore the hat.
You need to get 3 out. To get 3
Now we go, kid. Ignore this guy. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Steve. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
What I was saying,
Stay focused.
Nebraska, gotcha. Nebraska hasn't beaten a ranked team on the road since 2011.
Wow.
I think they keep it close enough today.
They've been abysmal.
Nebraska.
You think they win?
Nebraska.
I don't think they win the game.
Oh, okay.
That would be in keeping
Close.
too, because they've been horrible in one possession games, dating back the last 5 or 6
They need
years.
something to go.
How am I telling you? How am I